Another day, another gear talk Q&A. Let's see here. I posted last night, and besides getting a couple stupid questions like would you ever do OnlyFans and will taking gear make your balls shrink, I think there was some quality questions. And I actually haven't even read them all, but we got enough for a good video here. Thoughts on MPP? This is from Cruiser62. Thoughts on MPP, short esters versus long esters? So that's a two-part question. So MPP, Deca is MPP. MPP is the short-acting ester of Deca. I don't like it. It doesn't mean it's not a good compound. I don't fucking like Deca. It makes me a moody bitch. The pumps are inferior to Tren. It's just not there for me, and MPP is a short-acting Deca, so it's just going to hit quicker, it's going to be in your system quicker, it's also going to leave your system a lot quicker too. What does that mean? So short-acting esters, you're going to have to pin more frequently, versus like a long-acting ester, which my whole cycle history the past 3.5 years has been long esters, because I don't want to pin more than twice a week. It's just not appealing to me. So I'm a long ester man. I like my Mastron, my Primo, Primo enanthate, which is if you're injecting Primo, it's going to be enanthate. Acetate is you're going to get Primo. That form of acetate is going to be in a pill. Typically, I haven't seen an oil that's acetate. Tren Nth versus Tren A. So I just like long esters. It's a lot more of a smoother and easier process for me. So Deca is a great compound. MPP Deca is a great compound. It's just not for me. I did a video on this on TikTok like a month ago. It's for people that have done too much Tren, they want to substitute it for something. It's for people that actually just like MPP or Deca and they agree with it and Tren makes them fucking nuts. It's for people that are not ready for Tren, they want to try that one first. And it's also for people that have aches and ailments, because it's the only healing steroid. Anavar has collagen stimulating properties, but Deca, I should just say Deca really does. And Deca can actually really heal. And people that aren't getting the medicinal properties from Deca, you just need to run it higher. Usually you get the medicinal properties of Deca just at 100 mg, but some people need 200 to 300, just depending on the aches and pains. Okay. John Bocelli, my client, has test impacted your life, mental drive? Yes, it has. So, yeah. When I wasn't on test for 4 years, I took a break for commercial real estate. I was doing some Adderall to do some calls and stuff like that, and life was fine. It was more mellow. I didn't have like that tenacity. But the moment, and I just remember when I hit my first cycle back, and I was doing 1 IU of HGH, like a really small amount, and then I was doing 200 tests and just 30 mgs of T-balls just the first week. Wow, like just so much more focus, and things are a little bit more intense when you're on gear. Even 200 mgs of tests, things are gonna be a little bit more intense. And I do remember when I was starting out on TikTok, and I was just, I was kind of a small shrimp. Now that I look back at my videos and stuff, things were a lot more calm. Things were not so intense. Things were more laid back, but also just more lackadaisical, if that makes sense. I still had drive. I was still working hard. I was still trying to get out of the rat race and stuff like that. But it makes it, when you're on TRT, it makes it easier to do things. There's a reason why majority of the great inventors and pioneers in this world are men, and it's because of testosterone. Testosterone sparks creativity and drive. Majority of the great inventors and pioneers are men, if you really think about it. Let's see here. D. Sundar. Thoughts on pinning triceps, chest, biceps? I've done them all. And I don't like triceps or biceps, but here's the thing. The moment you start pinning any muscle continuously, it becomes a lot easier. But in terms of like breaking the ice and like let's put this for this example. Let's do traps. I'll never do that again. I did Tren in my traps. Probably not the best icebreaker for my traps, but the moment I put the barbell on my traps, I wanted to cry. There's just so much excruciating pain on that. It could have been just because it was Tren, but typically if you just break the ice with anything, it's gonna fucking hurt. So I'd rather break the ice with my glutes, my lats, and my delts. And I think you guys I used to pin my thigh. I could go back to it, I could do that. But I think some of you guys are psychotic for you're doing like 3 cc's in your thigh, or like injectable anadrol on your thigh. You gotta walk there. I gotta fucking move my legs. So I try to avoid injecting the thigh, even though it is a very popular area. And here's the most important thing. You don't want to pin your favorite spot too much, okay? Because then it's going to build scar tissue, and it's just not a good thing. You know, my glutes were becoming kind of like leathery because I was doing 23 gauge twice a week for the past couple of years. So I was like, oh shit, I need to like get 27 gauges. I need to do this delt. Like Thursdays I do left delt, right delt, because I have over an ml that I have to inject. My 27 gauges or 1 ml syringes. Monday is my 23 gauge day where I just load it all up, 3 ml, and I do the shot. Okay, so I have one day for like just a glute shot, and then the other day I just do like delt or like lat delt or lat. That makes sense. It does make sense. Okay, let's see here. Is growth hormone overrated? Muscle building, fat loss, wellness. I've never taken growth hormone and got the fat loss component from it. I look back and I thought I was, and now that I've done retatrutide and like I'm fucking shredded, just doing whatever I want, I can eat my dog right now and not gain a pound. It never gave me any fat loss properties. Muscle building for sure, and just like the pumps immediately and the hand swelling and some better sleep and skin and all that stuff. But I've never done pharma GH, and I think my whole opinion on GH from thinking like, yeah, it's cool, to no, this is fucking necessity, is not there yet. Because I've never done pharma GH. I know a lot of people that have done pharma GH live by it, swear by it, and going to generic just doesn't cut it for them. I've done generic, it's cool. I've probably done about 1,000 IUs of HGH, 800 to 1,000 IUs of HGH. I like it. I haven't done it in the past 2 years because I hold some water. I've heard pharma GH doesn't make you watery. I don't know how much weight I could put on that, but I would like to try the Genly pens, the Genotropin pens. Genly's a fucking aftermarket company. The Genotropin pens or Serostim. So next time I do GH, now that I got the money, Primo and I will be doing the pharma stuff. So yes, I think there's a good time and place for it. But as of right now, as it stands, I would never do it for a cut because of the water component. But the past 3 times I did it, my first cycle back, my second cycle, and my third cycle, those were recomp cycles for size and stuff like that. So I was running it and I was having a good time. Lifting naturally for 10 years, decent physique, 700 test score. Do you think 250 to 500 tests a week is worth it? Yeah, well, I don't understand why everybody gets so hung up on their test score. If you have a 300 test score, I mean, here's the thing. If you have a low test score, like 200, 300 test score, yeah, you should be on test. And the bottom line is within the air and what's in our food and all this stuff, I'm seeing it's just like crazy how many people have low tests at like 23 years old, 24 years old. Like, it's just like, it's insane. And it's just how our world is now. It's overpopulated and things aren't really, like, the food's not prepared with care unless you're in Europe or, outside of the United States, I should say. And, the air we breathe is very just poisonous. The drinking bottled water now can give you cancer. So, like, fuck. But now, what does it matter if your test score is 700, 800, 900, or even 1,000 naturally? Which I don't believe you can get 1,000 test score naturally, but I'm just saying. Why does that matter? If you're entertaining the idea of doing testosterone, 250 mgs a test is going to put you, give or take, at a 2,000 test score. 500 mgs a test is going to put you, give or take, a 4,000 test score, 3,500 test score, 4,500 test score. So that shit's on 700 to 800, 900, 1,000. That's the whole reason why you're talking about doing testosterone, to make gains. You're not going to make eye-popping gains natty, so your test score is irrelevant. And to answer your question, yeah, I would hop on if I've been doing it 10 years naturally. It's not a flex to be in this game for 10 years, look at yourself in the mirror, watch what you eat, be super vain, be that guy, but then not be that guy because you're too scared to put a needle in your ass. I think it's time, my guy. Primo stuff. Would you say elbow striking? Oh, no, not from that's a joke one. Would you suggest Tren Ace for a recomp or Primo for a skinny fat after test and masked already? I'm just going to give you one word and one word only, Tren. Okay, yes on the Tren. If you could take only masked or Primo for the rest of your life, what would you pick and why? Mastron, There's a reason why, like the best steroids you can't take for a prolonged period of time. Like Mastron can end up hitting your prostate, even though I take finasteride. Finasteride is really good for prostate health. Mastron and Primo can ding your lipids, but Mastron a little bit more than Primo, especially if you're running your Mastron high. Mastron is not something you take for like 6 months, even though I'm kind of already at the 4-month point with it and I need to wind down. I'm probably going to run it for 5 months, full transparency, because I don't want to digress, but it's like we're going to Europe. I need to look good for that. I'm going to come home. I'm going to go to Berlin in October, and then I'm going to Miami. Like when do I like have some downtime with steroids? I don't know. The way I'm chalking it down for myself is I'm just going to blast for a year and then worry about my nuts and stuff like that afterwards, because I've got too much momentum going with things. I need to look my best. But for you guys, I would pick Mastron for a 3 to 4 month period, 200 to 400 mgs. Primo Bolin is super dope, and you're going to build more with it. But the cosmetic look and the dryness and the vascularity and just that overall just like aesthetic appeal, you'll get it from Primo. I don't want people to freak out over me saying you're not going to get it, but it's not comparable to Mastron. Mastron's the most aesthetic thing you can inject. And then in your experience, what do you like more, Anadrol or Superdrol? That was the last question. Superdrol, I like more. I think Superdrol is my favorite pill that you can take. I just took Halo again for the first time in a while tonight, and I was more agitated than anything, but I had a good pump, and I also did my injectable Anadrol with it, but it didn't compare to Superdrol and Anadrol. Like, that's the best 1-2 punch right there. It's the Superdrol Anadrol. You get the size, and you get the extra size, and then you get the dryness. Halo is going to give you a really hard feeling. You're going to be more aggressive with the weights, but it doesn't compare in terms of aesthetics or just like more vascularity from what you're going to get with Superdrol. And to answer the question of Superdrol, because you're not going to get watery from it. Anadrol is going to get, the moment I do a little bit of Anadrol, I look great, but if I had like a little too many carbs throughout the day or whatever the case may be, my waistline goes from here to here. So just like even half an inch makes it look way bigger. Versus Superdrol, you can load up on that shit and it's just going to dry you out and amplify your muscle insertions. So if I had to pick, but they both have a great place. Like I'm using both. They both have a really great place in your stack. Just know how to use them, especially when you're in a deficit. Superdrol and Anadrol are really great to lean on. Doses 5 to 10 mg for Superdrol, Anadrol 25 mg pre-workout. They're really good to lean on because you're going to stay full. And who doesn't want to stay full during a shred, right? We hope that you like the gear videos, the in-depth gear talk videos, talk peptides, talk pussy. But right now we're talking about gear. I want you guys to, here's the thing, join the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, it's growing pretty quickly. Ask questions there. I have my protocol there for paid members, access to whatever you need for paid members. And guys, if you have any questions on like that you want it to be answered, we're not doing emails. You can just message me on Instagram. You can message me on the Discord. Let me know. These tend to be doing a lot better than the vlogs, even though Tyler and I have a lot more fun with the vlogs and we're going to be cranking those out. Those are a lot tougher to do and they're a lot more rewarding to see the finished product. For me, I can just sit down on the couch and spit game. This is very easy and you guys appreciate it, so it's really no sweat off my back to do this. So just, be proactive, like drop comments in the YouTube. We know it's a grind. We're going to be here posting at least once a week on the Gear Talk. We're trying our best to do once a week with the vlogs, but to get a lot of good content, it could take up to 2 weeks. So we're just doing our best with pumping out as much content as possible. But yeah, let us know what you think. Drop a comment, be in my Discord. The link is on. We're going to plug in the link. Tyler will plug in the link and plug in my Instagram as well and my TikTok.